You know, this is normally a quiet time of the year, at least in D.C., but the January 6th committee today referred former President Trump and other members of his inner circle to the DOJ as part of its investigation into the Capitol riots. We've talked a lot about what it means politically. What does it mean from a legal standpoint? Steve Baric is a former prosecutor and partner in Baric & Associates. He's up late with me tonight on the Final Five. Steve, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Let's break this down here because this is a referral. This committee does not have the authority to issue any sort of indictment or press any charges here. So what does this mean today?
I think you hit the nail on the head earlier when you mentioned, I think the biggest impact on this referral and this committee in general is really more political. Under the U.S. Code, I think it's section 333(1), the Attorney General has already impaneled a grand jury to investigate the January 6th incident and insurrection or riots, whatever you want to call it. So they're already investigating these issues. I think the biggest part of what the January 6th Commission was doing was primarily political, although they did get a lot of good testimony, a lot of interesting testimony. But I think it's important to point out, and for your viewers to understand, that the Attorney General has been investigating this situation for almost 2 years now, and in fact has had some indictments and is currently in trial on an insurrection case as we speak, I think against the leader of the Proud Boys. So this has been going on for quite some time from a legal standpoint.
You know, when people look at this, and I think, you know, not everybody, it's sometimes easy to remember that not everybody follows every intricate detail of every case closely if you're living here in D.C. But, you know, I think regardless of who's in office, the Attorney General is appointed by a Democratic president. We know that. Congress is elected by the people, and you have Democrats and Republicans up there. It's a majority Democratic situation right now. Republicans will be in charge in a couple of weeks. It's very tough to look at anything and not somehow draw that conclusion that politics are involved somehow. Does that make it more difficult when you're in the legal realm to know that so many people that you're trying to convince look at life through a partisan lens?
Yeah, I think the Attorney General's got a tough job here, you know, and I'll be honest with you, if I were the Attorney General, I don't know how excited I would be that there was a commission at all. I understand why some members in Congress felt that they had to do it. But from a lawyer's perspective, I would have liked to have, investigated these incidents with the grand jury, do my thing, move this case along looking purely at the evidence without the prism of politics. As you pointed out, the gavel in Congress is going to change here in a couple weeks, and I would be imagining that there will be some referrals from Republican commissions to the Attorney General, and then he's going to have a real hot potato on his hand. Like, for example, let's say that Republicans refer Hunter Biden for a possible investigation from the Attorney General. Boy, is that going to be a tough one. So if I was the prosecutor, the Attorney General, I would be, this doesn't make his job any easier. I'll tell you that much. That's
a good point there. And I'm curious, though, when you do have a Republican committee, whatever comes about, and you're right, because Hunter Biden, they said from day one of their top priorities, they want to investigate the president's son. You had a lot of members of Congress, Kevin McCarthy, Andy Biggs, Jim Jordan, who were subpoenaed by the January 6th committee. They did not act on that subpoena, and as a result, they were also referred to the Ethics Committee. But did they not set a precedent by kind of giving Democrats that same cover, that if there are other commissions that maybe they believe that aren't just, aren't legal, aren't worth it, that they can kind of blow that off?
Well, look, ignoring subpoenas is not new. I think Steve Bannon was just prosecuted for contempt of Congress. If you do the research on contempt of Congress, members of administrations for the last 40 years have refused to comply with subpoenas from commissions. Now, usually those issues are negotiated away and they don't get into the middle of the media. But look, ignoring subpoenas has been going on a long time. And yes, you're right. Absolutely. I promise you that there will be members of the Biden administration that will get subpoenaed. There'll be members of the Democratic House leadership that will get subpoenaed. And I'll make you a bet, Jim. I'll buy you dinner next time I'm in D.C. that they ignore those subpoenas.
I'm just curious, real quick before I go, because I see those posters behind you. You're clearly a hockey fan. Who's your team?
Well, I live here in Los Angeles, and I'm a big LA Kings fan.
Okay.
But I'm pulling for Ovechkin to break Gretzky's record, believe it or not.
Well, as a Penguins fan, I can be agnostic on that, but I can admit that he's a talented player. Steve Baric, hey, thanks a lot for the insight tonight. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And the Final Five is back after this.